Probably one of the key features of Contribute that makes site administrators really love it is its ability to roll back pages to previous versions. This ability can really come in handy if a Contribute user totally messes up a page and publishes it to the live site. Instead of having to go back and manually fix a bunch of problems, you can just roll the page back to a previously working and correct version and try to make the changes again. Contribute allows for as many as 99 version rollbacks, but it's up to the site administrator to determine how many rollbacks to allow. If you're working with a particularly large site with pages that get updated all the time, imagine how much server space would be taken up if each of those pages had 99 alternate versions stored on the server. So it's more common to find that you can roll back between 3 to 5 versions of your pages, but again, it's up to the site administrator to determine how many versions you can roll back to, if any at all. If rollbacks have been enabled by your site administrator, to roll back a page, all you do is go to the page you want to roll back, and let's go over to the tcloud page. And wow, someone has colored the text here hot pink and made it all big. So let's definitely roll this back to a previous version before that happened. To do so, we choose File, Actions, Roll Back to Previous Version. And this lists for me all the versions that have been stored on the server. And it looks like the site administrator has allowed for 3 different versions to be saved at a time. I can see exactly when each one was published. Then they were within minutes of each other. And by clicking on them, I can actually preview the page to see which version I want to use. Well, here's a previous version. It looks like that one was green with a different font. This one is 603. A little bit smaller. They just changed the color, so it looks like somebody was experimenting with the font size and the color. Should we know exactly who was experimenting with this Philip Fry person? And here, this earlier version here at 602, this one is actually what we want. So all I have to do is make sure I have that selected and click Roll Back. And just like that, the page has been rolled back. And notice that I didn't have to create a draft page or anything. I actually went to the live page in the Contribute browser, rolled it back, and I am at tcloud.com/index.html, so I am looking at this page live on the web. So again, you just go to that page, choose Actions, choose File Actions, Roll Back to Previous Version. And notice that those previous versions are still stored in here. So if I rolled back to a previous version and I want to go roll into a future version, a version that happened after that one I rolled back to, I still have those in here. But because the site administrator only allowed for 3 versions, none of these are the good versions anymore, at least in my opinion. So if you want to be able to roll back further than that, be sure to talk to your site administrator. Or if you are the site administrator, you'll want to go into your administrator preferences and increase the number of rollbacks. And we'll talk more about how to do that when we get to the chapter on being an administrator. But as long as you have publishing privileges, you can roll back to previous versions of pages, even if you're not the person who made the changes, which can make for some interesting battles if you're having a disagreement with someone about a page and that person has the same user privileges as you. You might find yourself having a rollback war. Also be aware that rolling back sometimes won't bring back everything on a page. For example, if you updated an image on your page and saved it with the same name as the previous image, that overwrites the old image on the server and you won't be able to go back to that original image. The exception being if you chose to initiate your image editing from Contribute, but we'll talk more about working with images in another chapter. For now, just breathe a sigh of relief knowing that as long as the site administrator has enabled rollbacks, you can accidentally screw up a web page really badly sometimes, but still easily roll it back to a previous version.